This is a very interesting paragraph here with many twists and turns. So let us first understand what is going on here. The paragraph starts by talking about a discovery, then it talks about a traditional point of view, and then it talks about certain contrasting discoveries that suggest that the traditional belief may not be correct. But then it says that a more measured response than this is called for. That means that the author believes that to conclude that the traditional belief is incorrect may not be the right approach, and then the author talks about his reason for why he thinks so. So step 1, what is the main conclusion of the argument? See, this sentence here is the main conclusion, that the traditional beliefs should not be deemed incorrect. Or in simple words, the main conclusion of the argument is that the traditional belief is likely correct. So we got to the main conclusion. The main conclusion is that the traditional belief is likely correct. Step 2 is to link the portions in boldface with the conclusion. Now see, the first boldface here is against the traditional belief, and the second boldface here is in support of the traditional belief. So we can say that the conclusion is against the first boldface and the second boldface supports the conclusion. So with that groundwork, let's look at the answer choices. So no, the first doesn't support the overall position by the mathematician. The first boldface and the position of the mathematician are in contrast. So answer choice A cannot be correct. A similar problem with answer choice B. It says that the first and the overall position are in sync, which is not the case. So choice B should be eliminated. Answer choice C says that the first boldface supports something that supports the overall position of the argument. That is not the case. The first boldface and the conclusion are in contrast. Choices D and E, the first part here is the same, and both of them are correct, that yes, first is evidence that has been used in support of a conclusion. See, a conclusion is a term that is used for an intermediate conclusion. This conclusion here, that traditional belief is incorrect. And yes, you see the first boldface supports this intermediate conclusion. So the first part here is absolutely correct. We know that the first conclusion, the intermediate conclusion, has been later criticized by the mathematician. So a good job with the first half here. Look at the second half now. No, the second is not something that substantiates this evidence. This is not correct. The second boldface is in contrast with the first boldface. So this part is not correct. Answer choice E says that the second is evidence offered in support of the position held by the mathematician. So in simple words, answer choice E, the second part, says that the second boldface supports the main conclusion of the argument. And that is the case, so even the second part here is correct. Let's confirm answer choice E, end-to-end ones. We know that this is the conclusion of the argument. We know that the first boldface supports an intermediate conclusion. The main conclusion is against this intermediate conclusion, and the second boldface here supports the main conclusion of the argument here. So with this groundwork, let's look at answer choice E. It says that the first is evidence. Yes, it's all concrete information, the first and the second. It can be called evidence. So the first is evidence that has been used in support of a conclusion, as in an intermediate conclusion that has been criticized by the mathematician. Yes, this is the intermediate conclusion and this has been criticized by the mathematician here. So good job here with the first half. Look at the second part here. The second boldface is evidence offered in support of the position held by the mathematician. In simple words, the second supports the author's main conclusion, and yes, the second boldface here supports the main conclusion of the argument. E is the correct answer choice.